And in my dad's eyes, it's like Mr. Helix had taken on little Sazzy.
Yeah.
He was a little dog. And he
His
was like,
daughter,
we're
yeah.
having none of this. You tell them, kid, they can't do this. We'll see them in court.
The Businessmen, sponsored by BT Business.
Welcome back, Keys Joel Dummett.
And this guy, this handsome little...
Oh no, you did it again.
Handsome...
Why do you keep saying Nipple?
Handsome, same sort of height as me, man, is Ben Shepherd.
And we are the Businessmen.
Yes, we are
This
indeed.
is the Businessmen podcast documenting our potentially quite bold and undoubtedly naive efforts to start a business.
Absolutely. The business of skincare for men, to be precise.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
It's been fun. This is what we've encountered so far.
Okay, so... Oh, God, this is so stressful. So it feels like we don't have a business.
No.
And so if we don't have a business, if we don't get people signing up to the survey, then we can't go to the investors and go like, look, well, we've created this community. And if we can't get investors, then all of this is pointless. We have to go back to our house with our tail between our legs.
It's for nothing.
It has to have authenticity. It's got to be transparent. You have to totally believe in it, but you have to buy into it because it's yours.
All the polls are now closed. We have taken the votes. They have been counted and verified. And we can now reveal the name for our skincare brand is...
Joel and Ben for skin.
It's been harder than we thought it was going to be, right?
Do you know what I think the interesting thing, Joel, is? Yes, it's hard. It's tough, right? Because there are so many ways you can get it wrong. The point that I think has struck me much more vividly is how long it's taking.
Yeah.
Right. We are both naturally very keen to get on with things. Our favourite thing in the world is doing live television because it's done and you go on to the next thing.
true.
And my wife says it to me all the time. Stop rushing from one thing to the next. There is no rushing here. And that's the thing. I think that it's the process has been more involved. Brilliant fun, really engaging, but it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and like every single guest has said, is the thing that a lot of people fail on is that or they wish that they didn't rush quite so much. So we've just got to have a little bit of patience. And so hopefully, our listenerships and our people who are watching on YouTube, hopefully we have your patience too, because this is going to be a long old road. And so hopefully you're enjoying being on that journey with us too. You can catch up with all of the episodes on YouTube or on podcasts, wherever you listen to them. There's plenty of episodes there, and there's plenty of journey to catch up on if you haven't been keeping up.
Tell the good people what's coming up on today's show, Joel Dummett.
We have the incredible, formidable former dragon herself, Sara Davies, in the studio.
She's not she's just so lovely though, isn't she?
She is such a fascinating person to talk to. She has a wealth of knowledge, has a huge business portfolio worth tens of millions.
Yes.
Loads of expertise that she can give to us. And also, she's just a lovely person too.
And is hosting ITV's Time is Money.
Yes.
Which, as I know, the advent of hosting a quiz show is something that she had never done before. And I think that I can't wait to see how she's dealing with that, because the reality of it is there's a lot of pressure that comes with that sort of thing, Joel.
Yes.
As you know, when you're hosting a quiz show.
Yes.
It's very easy to get wrong.
Well, you know what? It's quite nice, actually, that we've all swapped roles.
Yes.
We're starting a business and she's hosting a quiz.
Yes.
All right? So we're all playing Freaky Friday for a bit.
Annoyingly, I think she's significantly better at the TV presenting than we are at the being businessmen. Joel.
Yes.
I have a fun fact for you.
Please do.
99% of all UK businesses are small or medium-sized.
What? 99%? That's almost all.
Just 1% not all. So whether you're running a shop, a consultancy, a creative agency, there's one thing you absolutely cannot compromise on: your internet connection.
And that's exactly why BT Business Broadband exists.
BT Business understands the challenges companies face. Their broadband is purpose-built for business, delivering the speed and bandwidth you need to run cloud apps, transfer large files, jump on video calls with smooth, reliable performance every time, like you.
So we can avoid the spinning wheel of doom, Ben.
Exactly that. The thing is, most people don't realise small businesses are targeted by cyber attacks every single day. BT Business Broadband comes with built-in security, Joel, firewalls, Joel, and options for advanced threat protection, so your data, your customers, and your reputation stays safe.
Switch today and be online tomorrow. To find out more, search BT for small business.
You don't want to miss our chat with Sara.
It's going to be great. But before all of that, of course, we've got to catch up on... It's the thing that's on everyone's lips and potentially nips. It is Ben versus Joel. Pew, 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 pew. Ting, ting, ting. I'm like imagining bullets that are maybe like ricocheting. That's what I'm imagining. Like that sort of noise of like ting, 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 and then ending on a big explosion.
We have been banging on, as you know, about our skincare survey. The reason we want to do it is to guide us for the community to understand what products that we're going to produce. But we thought we could share some interesting takeaways that we've had, because we've had over 11, 12,000 people have looked at the survey.
Yeah.
7 or 8 have started it. For some reason, they haven't finished it. It's only 6 minutes, people.
Yeah.
But for the nearly 5,000 of you, not quite 5,000 yet, and that's important.
Oh my God.
Thank you for taking this over. But we've got some really interesting findings, haven't we, John?
Really, really interesting. Something we took away from it, it's all-in-one products are the sort of the holy grail.
Yes.
Sort of feels like the thing that everyone's looking for. Again, that simplicity. Is that the most requested future product is a moisturizer that does everything. 41.6% or all-in-one face, hair, body wash, 28.1%. Simplicity sells.
I love this as feedback because we want it to be efficient. We want it to be quick.
Totally.
We don't want to be faffing about.
I completely agree.
I love this one as well, that confusion is a bigger barrier than price. 34% of people who've taken the survey so far said it's too confusing. The products that are on the shelves, the ingredients, the faff involved, what the different steps you've got to go through.
Yep.
Not sure that it even works was 31.5%. Too expensive, which is one of the barriers for people getting products, was only 29%. So the confusion, keeping it simple, yet again, we're going back, simplicity sells, keeping it simple is more important than the cost.
Yep. Education matters more than discounts, essentially. But it's been really fascinating. So if you haven't filled out the survey, please do. If you've been listening, we've been set a challenge to try and reach 5,000 survey responses, which our entire business hangs upon, by the Day of Love, which is the 14th of Feb.
Of the 5,000 surveys, if we reach 5,000, and we need to make this clear, we need to have 5,000 surveys by the 14th of February. Whoever has had the least contributions to those 5,000, whether that be you or whether that be me, will be having, I think it's established now, a nipple pierced.
I can't believe it's a nipple. I would have taken anything else other than a nipple.
It is a nipple. Can I just say as well, I feel like there's been some, before we get on to where we are, I feel like there's been some underhand...
What have I done?
Nipple voting. Penny Dommett has been messaging me, sending me DMs.
My mum's been messaging you. Told her not to do this with my friends.
So I've said, we would all love to see Joel getting his nipples pierced because he loves metal. And why not put one through his nipple? Everybody wants to see this. Penny Dommett. Everybody except your mother. My fingers are worn out from filling out the survey and choosing repeatedly Ben Shepherd official to be pierced to ensure that Joel Dommett's beautiful baby skin that I grew and nurtured for 9 months does not get damaged in the interest of the Businessmen Pod. No!
Mum is so embarrassing. So embarrassing.
Damn it, Dommett.
I need to get that woman off Instagram.
I quite like her DMs when she slips in them.
She slips into those DMs. God damn it.
Your beautiful baby skin that she grew and nurtured. I actually felt a little bit sorry for her at that point. And then I didn't.
It's just the things I'm doing for this business. Hopefully, it's not going to be me. We'll see.
We'll find out.
You got a lot of votes last
I
episode.
did jump into the lead. Should we see where we are this week?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
do it.
Let's hear from the Games Master. Here's Russell.
Hey, Joel and Ben. Russ here with your survey update. So as of today, I can see we have received 4,251 survey completions. So well done. Slightly slower uptake from last week. The completion rate is at 57%, so still very, very solid. And now to the important bit. So as of today, and with your extra 50 points from last week, Ben, you are at 1,875 completions, so well done. Joel, you've done very well this week, but not quite there yet. You're closing in, and you have 1,503, so plenty of work for you to do. Remember, once we cross that 5,000 mark, one of you will be marked forever. And the audience currently are voting for that to be your nipple. Yes, it hasn't changed. I think it's going to be the nipple. So get prepared.
That's about 700.
That's a lot to catch up on.
That's a lot.
Where's this come from?
There was a challenge this week.
The challenge.
Do you remember what the challenge was?
The challenge was to get the most famous person you can to make a video saying, I use Joel and Ben's foreskin.
I never go anywhere without Joel and Ben's foreskin.
How'd you go on?
I've got a few famous friends.
My lord.
How did you get on?
Well, the problem is you're my most famous friend. I think I've got a pretty good one.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure you know more famous people than me.
Shall I start with my first?
Yeah, I've only got one, so yeah.
I'll start with my first.
Go.
So first up, the fabulous Dr. Amir Khan.
Okay, here's one of my friends who would like to tell you something.
Right, I'm Dr. Amir, and I cannot leave home without Ben and Joel's foreskin.
Very well trusted.
Very well trusted.
GP.
Would have preferred it if it was the boxer.
Yeah. If we can get that Amir Khan to do it, then I will have my nipple pierced.
That would be unbelievable.
Okay,
it's great.
Do you feel like you can trump Amir?
I think I've trumped Amir.
Okay, I'm going to go with my second one then.
But yeah.
Here comes my second one.
Here we go. Oh God, it's going to be like Gordon Ramsay or something, isn't it?
Another advocate.
Hello, Nick Ferrari from LBC here. I can't walk out of the door without Joel and Ben's foreskin.
He says it.
He says it in such a serious way. It's like Nick Ferrari's voice can't say that. It's like that voice. I'm so used to him saying that.
Prime Minister.
Yes, our Prime Minister is rubbish or something.
Do you feel like you want to introduce yours now?
I'm going to give it a go. Here we go. This is a video from the one and only Catherine Tate.
Hello, I am Catherine Tate, and I use. Is it Ben and Joel or Joel and Ben?
Either way.
Ben and Joel's foreskin.
Oh, I love Catherine Tate. She's
It's good.
That's really good.
It's good.
It's really good.
I think Catherine Tate fixed Nick Ferrari.
And you took Catherine Tate to a coffee shop and asked her to talk about our foreskin.
Yeah, I think that absolutely trumps. They're both wonderful people in their own fields, but I think Catherine Tate, it's Catherine Tate. Amir Khan isn't even the most famous Amir Khan.
But he is my favourite Amir Khan.
He is my favourite too.
Okay, so you've got Amir. We feel maybe trumps. Sorry, Catherine. We feel maybe trumps Amir and Nick Ferrari.
I don't know. That's up to the powers that be.
They're behind the shit. I've got one more.
He's got one more.
I've got one more.
Oh my god.
And
oh no, I didn't know there was three. No, I've made myself look silly now.
I've got one more.
I bet it's huge.
And I wonder whether this person is perhaps the trump card.
Another friend.
Listen, I can't leave home without Ben and Joel's foreskin. I love it. It makes me look younger. Thank you.
The face says it all.
The people's champion. The man,
it's good. It's
the
really
myth,
good.
the legend that is
really good.
Jamie Oliver.
Jamie Oliver.
It's
really good. It's really good. I mean, they're both national treasures.
They're both, but one of them has changed school dinners forever and is continually pushing himself in the realm of cooking. Just look at him. Look how good his skin looks as well.
What a guy.
And that's because he never leaves home without Joel and Ben foreskin.
Oh, that is interesting.
So,
Catherine Tate or Jamie Oliver?
Well,
I think, to be honest, we think we need to give ourselves a pat on the back there because we've absolutely smashed it. We've absolutely done brilliantly well.
So the question, we're going to have to refer to the upstairs. I mean, do Amir Khan, Nick Ferrari and Jamie Oliver, do they beat the wonderful Catherine Tate?
Well done to both of you. You got great names for this challenge. Joel, I'm sorry to say, though, that Jamie Oliver is more globally recognized, according to Google searches, receiving 4.4 million searches a year. And though Catherine Tate is a highly respected British actor and comedian, her global appeal doesn't quite reach the heights of Jamie's.
The global appeal does it. I mean, it's a fair point. Jamie, thank you. So that means I get an extra 50 points. Can we just confirm that, please, mathematicians? So what does that take my survey numbers up to? 1,250 and up to... No, 2,000. No, 2,000.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So I am now at 2,075.
Yeah, and I'm about 1,500.
So there's about 500 in it.
Yep.
And we are about 700 away from hitting 5,000.
Yeah, and a couple of weeks away.
And we've heard what Penny Domit thinks about you being pierced.
Yeah, maybe she could get the village involved.
Were they involved originally?
Maybe get the village involved. Come on.
Okay, so there is a challenge for this week as well. In the studio next week, we'll be setting a challenge live. There's no escaping that one, Joel. How do we do it live?
I'm very happy with that because it means I don't have to spend any time doing it.
That does help. Because we're clearly spending a lot of time doing it.
Because it's difficult, man. I'm spinning a lot of plates. And I'll be honest, mostly in my life, it feels like I'm breaking plates.
We don't know what it's going to be. The production staff have an evil look in their eyes, though. I'm banking on it being something that we won't want to do and they won't want to miss.
Well, tune in to find out what that is. Can't wait. Very excited about that. Now's time to talk to the brilliant, incredible dragon that is Sara Davies. And I can't wait. It's going to be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, her invaluable insights into our business. She was brilliant at talking to us about that and also sharing her journey as well, which is just remarkable.
It's a fantastic
from a
story.
family business up in the northeast to a global business, worth tens of millions of pounds.
Fascinating.
Just incredible. Stick around for a reaction as well to our brand name.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very excited to welcome the youngest ever dragon that there has ever been in the den. Oh, wow. The amazing Sara Davies is here.
Oh, no, I only got that title until Bartlett showed up. We should have just totally deleted him out of our lives. So if he'd never turned up, I was the youngest ever woman.
There you go.
We can do youngest ever woman.
But he doesn't look younger than you, by the way.
Yes. Excellent.
Yeah.
Did I tell you I really loved you too? Really, really loved you
Bartlett
too.
needs to work on his skincare.
Yeah, that's
Quite
true.
frankly.
Right.
And you know what? You're my favourite.
And that's
Is that
all
better?
that matters. That's all that matters. You can't say that. What if Deborah's listening?
I think he did say that to Deborah as well, by the way, when she was on.
Oh, God.
God.
He's so easily swayed. And you are far less scary than Deborah as well, Sarah.
Oh, yes. I think everybody's a little bit less scary than Deborah.
Look, thank you so much for coming along. You have such a busy life. You have so many balls that you're juggling at all times. To have you on the Businessmen podcast is a real thrill for both of us.
It really is.
Yes, but I worry about you guys. You're businessmen now. You need all the help you can get. Not being funny, but business is tough.
It is.
So when you asked me to come along and give you a bit of advice, I was like, get me in there because they need all the help they can get.
Because I mentioned it to you really briefly in the summer because it's really funny when I think about it. We were at Wimbledon together. We both took our parents. It was really
our mums.
Our parents got on like a bloody house on fire, didn't they? And then it was just we had a lovely day. It was really nice. We sort of saw each other in the crowds.
No,
We're like,
that's
Sarah.
not true. I was walking along and I just said, Sarah! Sarah!
Was that you? You're at Wimbledon. You're not supposed to be an oik at Wimbledon.
I know. It was across the court whilst Djokovic was playing.
Mid-serve.
And then I said, well, you know what? Me and Ben are thinking about setting up this skincare company. You're like, tell me about it. Or tell me about it. And
that is the dodgiest Geordie accent
Wait, you
ever.
don't want to hear his Scouse accent either, by the way, because we have problems with that too. She is not Spanish. She's from the northeast, man.
It went rogue halfway through, we'll be honest. It was only three words.
But I did get very excited to say,
Very
tell us all
excited.
about it. Tell us all about it.
And you were like, tell me. And we were like, yeah, we're finding investors and we're going to do this, we're going to do this. You were like, oh, who's going to invest in it? I was like, don't know. And every question you asked me that a legitimate business person would ask, you asked me, and I had none of the answers.
None of them.
None at all.
None of them.
And I think I remember you saying these words, I'm a bit worried about you, Joel.
Hence, when you said, could I come in and give you a bit of advice, I was like, I was waiting for this call.
That phone went.
Yes.
Well, look, we are thrilled you're here.
Thank you.
Hopefully, we've got a few more answers for you, Sara.
I would hope so.
They are very bona fide questions that you asked, and we will come on to a little bit about what we're doing and how we're going to do it.
Yep.
But for our listeners and our viewers that are watching on YouTube, it's always really fantastic to sort of be able to go back and talk to you about your world experience of getting into business, if we may, and like a little bit of your history, because what you've managed to achieve and the journey you've been on is just extraordinary, really. I mean, you're smiling now, which I think is great. Because when we've looked at what it is that you've managed to do, it's just extraordinary. Can you tell us how your career began? Take us back to the beginning, sir.
I can indeed. So I always get asked that question, do you think entrepreneurs are born or made? Guess we're going to find out with you two, aren't we? And honestly, I don't know, because so both of my parents ran their own business.
Okay.
If I was at school and the other kids said to us, what do your mum and dad do? I'd never say, oh, they're entrepreneurs, because that's a big fancy word from a young lass from a pit village in the northeast of England. So I used to say, oh yeah, they've got the shop in the village, or they run their own business. But I think because I grew up seeing them run their own business, I didn't know any other life. Like, they've got the wallpaper and paint shop in our village, and we'd have decorators knock on our door at 10 o'clock at night, and my mum would just get up, put her dressing gown on, open the shop and mix them a tin of paint if they were off on a 6 o'clock start the next morning.
Is that right?
Like, when you run your own business, you don't say no. You do everything to make your customers happy. And because I'd grown up seeing that life, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to run my own business. I just had no idea what I would do that in. So the backup plan was always I'd take over the family business and I'd take over from them, which ironically my sister now took over, because I didn't do it and I'd started my own business. She took over it about 10 years ago. So, but that was always the backup plan. But then I went off to university to do management with a view of, I'm going to learn how businesses run in the 21st century, and I'm going to come back and teach my father. Because he needed to.
Oh, really?
He's so old school in his thinking, my dad. I was like, I'm going to teach him how things are done now. And, I look back now at what I learned at university, and 98% of what I do in my life has come from experience, not from what I learned from the textbooks.
Not the classroom, yeah.
But my mum and dad really wanted me to go and have that, to go and learn. They wanted me to go and have the university experience. So I went off and I learned all about cash flow and business models and marketing plans and all of this sort of stuff. And I did one of those degrees where you do a couple of years studying, then you go and work for a year, and then you go back to university and put all what you've learned to practice. And so I worked for this tiny little craft company in my year's placement. And honestly, I had no idea that so many people made handmade cards, and that it was a multi-billion-pound industry.
So that wasn't it wasn't something you had done. You weren't particularly crafty before then.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Me mum always did crafts with me and my sister.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Not like I would have thought, oh, that's my hobby and I'm going to make it into a business. So I ended up falling into this little tiny business. She had half a dozen staff. She was an artist, and she'd built the business up from there. And I fell in love with the customers. Oh my God, the people who craft, it's not a hobby for them, it's a passion.
Yeah.
They love what they do, they want to share it with other people, makes them feel good. And I looked at them and I was like, I just want to do a business in that industry.
Yeah.
And I mean, this was like 22, 23 years ago. So I had to go and take night classes. I did a City and Guilds craft course because I wanted to learn how to craft. And like, this is before YouTube was big and anything, because I'm so old now. So I went and took night classes in crafting. So I learned how to craft, and I knew how to run a business. I'd watched my mum and dad do it for years. And I remember I had all these business ideas, and I would take me business ideas that I'd got from listening to the customers. That is your number one rule. You should be making notes on all these.
I've forgotten a pen.
Listen to your customers. You haven't got all the ideas. They've got all the ideas though, right? So I used to listen to the crafters, and they would tell me what it is they wanted, what product ideas, where the gaps in the market were. It would come from essentially customer research. So I tried to take all of the business ideas that I'd been given and take it to the woman who owned the business. You know, I was just the management student helping out for the year. I was taking her all these ideas from the customers. She looked at us like I had 3 heads.
Yeah.
She's like, well, I've got loads of ideas. I know what I'm doing. You know, I don't need all this.
So she was happy doing it her way.
She did it her
wasn't
way.
listening to the
And
customers.
she wasn't listening to the customers. And so there was all these ideas and I'm going, this is going to be big. This is going to be big. No, not interested. And so I felt like I was bubbling over with ideas. And I came home and I chatted to my dad about it. And I was like, Dad, I've got all these ideas for a craft business. And he was like, well, we'll start a craft business then, pet. And so I ended up going back to university for my final year and starting this as a side hustle from my university bedroom. So I started Crafter's Companion with me little bit of crafting knowledge that I'd got from my night classes.
From your City and Guilds.
With what I'd learned from doing my couple of years of management, you know, business. And I started it literally from the university bedroom in that last year with a view to, well, I've got nothing to lose. So I didn't borrow any money. I didn't owe anybody anything. You know, I used me $5,000 worth of savings from the year. That's what I started the business with. And I thought, well, if it all goes belly up, I'm just going to come and take over the family business next summer. And then by the time I graduated 9 months later, Crafter's Companion was turning over £500,000 and making more money than my mum and dad's business that had been going 25 years. So I was like, I guess I'm in crafting. And that's how I got started.
It's so interesting. It's like that sort of crafting mixed with the business acumen and those two together. It's like people usually would have one or the other, but those two things together.
You know what it is, though? Craft just happened to be my vehicle. You know, I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to run my own business. I wanted to be master of my own destiny. I just didn't know whether I was going to be selling wallpaper and paint like my mum and dad had or something completely different. I fell into the craft, but I loved it. The trick is you've got to love it.
Yeah.
You know, my dad said to us, if you do something you love, kid, you'll never work a day in your life. And I can tell you, I've had 20 years of bloody hard graft. But I feel like it's not felt like
Never
work.
feels like work.
Because I love it.
You must have had some big risks that you've taken since then. What would you say is the biggest risk that you've taken in your career until now?
Do you know, it's really funny because I have a very unhealthy relationship with risk. Like, I don't see it as risk. To me, if that's a challenge, I'm just going to have to work harder to make sure it works. Well, I married an accountant who's not
they
just...
are very risk averse.
He's not just on a different page to me.
Yeah.
We're in different libraries, me and Simon, right? So I think that often balanced my risk. But I think the biggest risk I ever took, and I wandered into it without... It's not that I didn't realise. It's when I learnt my biggest lesson in business as well. Somebody knocked off my envelope maker. Somebody saw that and thought, oh, that's a good tool. She's only a little 2-bit businesswoman. You know, she's never going to take us on. And they were a big company. We'll just copy her envelope maker. They knew I had a patent. They were so cheeky, actually. They rang me. It was Helix, you know, make protractors.
Yes.
Yeah. So the head of Helix invited me down to their offices to tell them all about my envelope maker under the guise of they could manufacture it en masse for me and distribute it in 62 countries. So, I mean, to me, 21-year-old, I was so excited. I skipped off down to their offices, told them all about it. They were really interested in my patent. So I told them all about my patent I'd applied for and never heard from them again. And then 6 months later, here they are launching the Helix envelope folding board.
No.
And I thought, you little...
Sara.
Yeah. And I was like, it was like a David and Goliath moment.
Of course.
And I'm like, well, obviously, if you look at my envelope maker and you look at theirs, it's pretty obvious they've copied us. And so in my head, that's what the patent law's there to do. Protect the little people. Yeah. Well, it's not quite as clean cut as that. It's not about who's right and who's wrong. It's about who's got the best lawyers, who's got the deepest pockets, and how well is your patent written and how deep are you prepared to go to defend it?
Sure.
And I can remember I just went in, and this is when my advice was coming from my dad, who's even more emotive than I am. And in my dad's eyes, it's like Mr. Helix had taken on little Sazzy.
Yeah.
He was a little dog. And he
daughter,
was like, we're having none of this. You tell them, kid, they can't do this. We'll see them in court. Well, it's all right saying that.
Yeah.
But, you know, a couple of months later, when I'm sitting in court, and I'm into this for neck end £250,000 quid
Stop
at this point, defending this patent, yeah? And if I lose this case, then that's it. I could lose the whole business. But the problem is that I started off that path of, well, they're wrong and I'm right, so I'm going to defend it. But as soon as you make as soon as I send them that legal letter, then they reply, then I'm under obligation. And then you can't just say,
escalates.
oh, I've changed my mind now, I don't want to sue. Yeah? Like, you're into it, and the fees are racking up. And so that was probably the biggest risk I took without realising I'd taken it. I wanted. Now I've successfully defended that same patent 6 times.
Have you really?
But every time, soon as somebody's infringed the patent, now we put a business case together, we look at, right, what's it potentially going to cost us to defend it? What's the risk profile? What's the likelihood that we'll lose there? What's it going to cost us commercially? Instead of looking at, how do I feel about this?
It's the injustice of it.
Commercially, is this right to do that?
So glad you
and then I make a business decision.
In your face, Helix.
Yes, exactly.
Back to making protractors, you dickheads.
You licked Helix.
Yes.
So Crafter's Companion, so you launch it at sort of your last year at university. Very early on, you go through this really difficult, painful, traumatic, ultimately successful lawsuit. Just explain a little bit about what it went on to achieve, because you sold it first time and then got back into it, or you...
I've been on quite the journey. It was our 20th anniversary this October.
Right.
Just gone 20 years in business. So I built that business up. We built it from the ground up to a 38 million turnover business, about 250 staff globally.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
But you know what? It's what you're saying about not being frightened to be the stupidest person in the room, or surrounding yourself with people who are better than you, right? I am brilliant at some things. Like, you want to pitch, I'm your woman, right? Doesn't matter who we're pitching, I'm going in to do that pitch, right? Whether it's the corner shop selling crafts down the road, or whether it's Michael's with 1,200 stores in America, or whether we're going on TV shop and telly, I'm your pitch woman, right? You want finances doing? I have a better understanding of finances than most non-financial people around a board table. I'm not an accountant.
No.
Simon, my husband, is. So we had complementary skills. Yeah. You know, I wasn't frightened. There were a lot of people in the business who got paid more money than I did, right? Because they had skills that I needed.
Yeah.
And so I was never frightened to bring people in who know more than me and create an environment where they will challenge me on my thinking. Because the problem is, when you're the big boss, it's so easy to surround yourself with yes people. You know, it's really scary for somebody to stand up to me and go, do you know what, Sarah? I know you think that's a great marketing idea, but I'm the marketing expert and you're not. And this is why it's not right. Because eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to be like, no, but my idea is great because of this, that and the other. Most people at some point think, I value my job. I'm just going to go along with what she says.
Yes, easy to agree.
And actually, that's not helping. I need people who know that their job's not on the line. I've hired them and I trust that they know more than me, but you've got to convince me that you're right so that eventually I'm never frightened to admit I'm wrong. And I go, actually, I see your way of thinking. Yes, I agree with that now.
I love that you and your husband are like the perfect match. I love the idea that at your wedding, you would have sold your vows so beautifully and it all would have come in under budget.
Yeah. Oh, you will love this. So I had a spreadsheet, right? So I got he wrote a spreadsheet for our wedding. We've been married 18 years now, so it's been quite a while. Been together since I was 15. But I had the spreadsheet. So I had to agree a budget line for everything on there. And he plugged in the budget. And then if I went ahead, so for example, my wedding dress.
Yes.
He's like, what do you think it's going to cost you for a wedding dress? I was like, 500 quid. So it's 500 quid in the spreadsheet, right? So if I get a wedding dress at 500 or below, I just type in the amount of the spreadsheet. The cell comes up green. I can proceed without authorisation.
This is so good. This is so good.
If it's over that amount, I need to seek authorisation. Well,
from your fiancé.
Yeah, I don't tell you what I spent on the wedding dress. But let's just say in the spreadsheet, he thinks it was £495. And do you know what I did when I was in the changing rooms trying on the several £1,000 dress that I felt amazing in? I was calculating how many envelopers I had to sell to cover the profit. I was making £1 profit on each one. I was like, how am I going to sell another 2,500 envelopers?
That's amazing.
To pay for the wedding dress.
Get your sister down the post box and chuck a load more in the post.
That's so good.
I want to shift it forward a bit because we need to talk a little bit about where we are and what we're doing, but also our listeners and the people that watch the podcast have small business of their own, and they would love to understand what it is you need to hear from someone when it comes to investing in a business. What do you look out for in a business if you're thinking, this is something I like?
Okay, so here's the thing is, it's not about the business. It's not about the product. It's about the person, right? I can tell, when I sit in that chair in the den and them lift doors open, I know within the first 3 minutes if I want to make them an offer.
That quick.
I know straight away because it's the person. And I just think, like I said to you earlier, I'm a business person, I'm an entrepreneur. My vehicle just happened to be craft. I'd like to believe that you could have dropped me into any industry and I would have built a successful business. It just happens to be that I landed in this industry and I fell in love. And yes, there was a gap in the market, but I just researched until I spotted the gap in the market. A great entrepreneur can do all of that. And I sometimes see there'll be someone comes in and they've got an unbelievable idea. You're a brilliant business, but I look at them and I think, I just don't think you've got what it takes.
Yeah.
I just don't think you've got the gut for this. I don't think you've got the passion, the vision and the drive. That's what I'm really looking for, passion, vision, drive. And then as an investor, and granted, I approach investing different to a lot of investors. And I think one thing that a lot of people don't think about is, you imagine I'm an investor, whether it's in the den or anywhere in life, right? I have so many options of where I can put my money. Yeah. The person I trust to make money more than anybody else is me. So if I have £500,000 spare, I can either invest it in my own business, where I know I can turn that £500,000 into £1 million, or I can come and I can split it across 10 other businesses, knowing fine well the statistics say 7 of them will fail, right? Why would you ever invest in anything other than your own business? So it's really hard when you think of investors, especially entrepreneurial investors like the dragons that you see in the den. We are choosing to spend our money on other people, which is more risky than spending it on ourselves. Why would you do that, right? And it's because I can't fill my own cup up anymore investing in myself anymore. Like I've achieved everything I want to achieve in that regard. Investing in somebody else's business, being a part of their journey, oh my God, that takes me to a new level. Some of those businesses I've invested in the den, you know, some of them are 2nd and 3rd generation family businesses, people who started businesses from a passion, people who are genuinely trying to make a difference in the world. And I know that they are more likely to succeed because I'm on board supporting them. And actually, the fact that I might make a couple of quid along the way, it's just a bit of a Brucey bonus. I know that actually I'll get so much pleasure and enjoyment from seeing them on that journey.
Watching them flourish.
So I look at them and I think, are you going to succeed? Because I'm certainly not making me money if you're not, right? Are you going to piss my money up the wall? Because, you know, but if they genuinely, because they want that help and support, and I like that person, I know they're going to hang on my every word, they're going to take my advice, they're going to say, you know, people who get 15, 20 minutes with me, actually, they take everything I've got and then they go and implement everything I've told them. I can work with people like that and I'll give them my time any day of the week. Whereas the ones who come in thinking they know it all, you know, and you're lucky to get to invest in my business, they're not the ones for me.
Sara has lots more pitching and investor insights over on our Patreon. So all you need to do is join for free at patreon.com/thebusinessman. If you're starting a business or you're fascinated by what she's been telling and you just want to hear more about how it works, then we urge you to head over that and check it out. Sara, now, what should you prioritise when building a new business, say a men's skincare business? What would you say would be the priorities?
Good example, Ben.
Yeah, good example.
Good example. Very
there,
specific.
Right. I love how he's got his pen straight.
Always ready to go.
Okay, right? Don't be a magpie, right? It's really easy to go and stick with the stuff that you're good at, the stuff that's really attractive to you. So, for example, branding and marketing, that's dead sexy. And the social media, right? Yeah. And I see people start new business and they spend hours and hours and hours on social media, right? They haven't actually at any point looked at the commercial return on investment they are getting for time spent on social media, commercially what it's driving in the business, right? And they're doing that at the expense of maybe being in the detail on the logistics or the finances, because they're not as good at that stuff. They're really good over here at marketing. So they'll do the stuff that makes them feel excited. And I see, and I've had it with businesses I've invested in the den, they will spend hours and hours and hours on social media, for example, because they think that's how that's driving their business, but they're not actually measuring it, right?
Right.
You need to measure, and first of all, you need a business plan, right? To fail to plan is to plan to fail, right? You must put a plan together, and you put a plan together with all of the elements that you need to be able to run the business, all of the facets, all of the, I guess, departments, although you are the head of every department because there's only you in the business when you're starting out, right? And you need to make sure that you are fulfilling all of those requirements and you are spending adequate time on the things that are really driving a return. Now, my problem was I am a magpie. I want to do the fun shit, right? because I had Simon, even before he joined the business, you know, he was like my accountability angel.
I love the
call
fact
him.
you recruited him at 15, by the way. as well. That was very
it's like
smart.
I knew. It's like I knew he's going to be useful.
Putting your business together.
But because he's a financial person, very, very different to me, he would look at all of the things that I would want to do. And the problem with me is I want to do everything.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
I never have a lack of ideas. So I'll have 5 ideas of things I'm wanting to run off and do. And he'll rein me in and he'll go, right, with each of them 5 ideas, I want a 1-pager on it. I want to know what the idea is. What's the resource that it's going to take? What's the bandwidth of yours that it's going to take? What's it going to cost? What might it return? And all of a sudden, when I look at the 5 ideas laid out in front of me, where I've measured all those things independently, I would have a very different view on which one I should work on first versus which one am I just more excited about.
Yeah. Which ones feel sexier?
Yeah.
That's true. I think I'm a magpie.
Yeah, you're definitely...
You definitely strike me as somebody who'd be a magpie.
A magpie, man.
What's been fascinating, I think, for both of us is actually how difficult it is to convert men to take the survey online. Women love sharing.
They do.
What we've ended up doing, we've gone through various iterations of it, and we now have a lot of women that can do it for the men in their lives, partners, husbands, boyfriends, brothers, sons, uncles, wherever that person might be. And that's been fascinating. I think there is a statistic, something crazy. I'm not sure, you may be able to put me right on this, but 80% of male skincare is bought by women.
That wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
So we understand that market is actually really important for us as well. But it's trying to get people to commit to the survey has been, I think, the first real challenge that we've sort of gone, I don't understand this. It's like everybody starts reading it, they sort of really engage with the idea of it, but they won't finish a 6-minute survey.
So the big thing that you've said to me that rang alarm bells for me is when you said that the data that we have suggests that 80% of male skincare is bought by women. Yet you're still fixated on finding out what the men want. But they're not going to be the ones buying it. Now, yes, I do agree that you'll have a really strong marketing message to say to the women, this is what our survey said, this is what men want, so this is why you should buy it. That's great. But how many, if 80% is being bought by the women, you need to not lose a psyche of, we need to ask her what she thinks she wants. Because there's one thing you can't tell us, we're right, you're wrong, okay? We're women, we know our shit, right?
Yeah.
So there's no way my husband won't use any skincare, he's still on the soap and water thing, right? I don't think I could convince him. But if I was able to do that, I would believe that I would have a better knowledge of skincare than what he would.
Yes.
Therefore, if I was buying him skincare, I would still go and buy what I think is right and for him, as opposed to him going, Joel and Ben are doing this skincare, that might be nice. Because I wouldn't know. I would trust my own research.
Right, so you would want to understand what's in it.
I think you want to know from the women
as well.
Because potentially 80% of your income is going to come from them.
Yeah.
Don't lose sight of that.
I think one of the reasons that we adapted the survey was to sort of pivot along that way. We have pivoted on a number of occasions.
Yeah,
but it's a really good point. We've had some questions from our boardroom.
Oh, you've got a boardroom.
We've got a boardroom.
Oh, I'm impressed.
Which is
very exciting, isn't it?
It is.
Our Patreon. So if you join our Patreon for free, you can put questions on the boardroom. We've got some lovely questions, haven't we?
Some really nice ones. It's really, really nice way of you guys getting involved and ask people what you want to know. We've had a great one from, I'm going to go from Mo, says, has becoming a celebrity been a help or a hindrance for your business career?
So interestingly, the more my profile is raised, it didn't do anything for Crafter's Companion because we sell specialist products to a certain niche within the market. And my celebrity profile growing didn't have enough of an impact in that niche to move the dial on sales. However, what it did do is allow me to build a personal brand more. And the more, like you said to me, you just feel an energy around me, you feel like you trust me, that will translate to then customers eventually feeling that same way about me. So there's definitely been an intrinsic link of, I think, the more people have got to know me personally through my celebrity profile, the more that has helped me in terms of building a business audience.
One of the things I love, Sara, is the diversity of what you are doing now, because, of course, we've seen you on The Den. You had that fabulous crafting show before Christmas when you came on this morning, and you helped us do all sorts of things. And you're now hosting a quiz as well, Time is Money on ITV, which I'm absolutely... Have you watched it yet?
No, I'm so excited.
You'll love it, Joel.
It's a properly gripping quiz. And by the way, you have a really tough job on it because you have to ask a lot of questions, and it's properly really under a lot of stress. Is there any part of you that worries slightly that detracts from business, Sara?
Yes. I mean, when they asked me, do you want to be a quiz show host? It couldn't be further away from the world of business. I guess the lucky thing for me is I've got to a point in my life where I've made enough money. The business is successful. It runs along. I can do the things that are going to fill my cup up and make me happy.
Yeah.
And what I've learned is I get more growth being outside of my comfort zone and challenging myself. So when they asked me, do you want to do a quiz show? That is so far removed from anything I've ever done in my life. It was this huge, enormous challenge. A little bit like when Comic Relief rang and said, do you want to trek 50 kilometres across the Arctic Circle? I was like, I don't know if I can physically do that. So
Let's
yes.
do it. Yeah.
And I think growth only ever comes outside your comfort zone. And I find that skills are transferable. So I learned so much about myself, about my drive, about my tunnel vision, about connecting, projecting, everything from doing the quiz, which I then take into the business world. So it might not be direct. Do you know what I learned so much about business? When I did Strictly.
Yeah.
You would think, what can you possibly learn about business from dancing? But you wouldn't believe some of the lessons I learned and took away from Strictly that helped me become a better entrepreneur. And I think it is that outside your comfort zone is where you get the growth.
Sara, thank you so much for coming in. Honestly, it's valuable advice that we absolutely need.
Well, listen,
it's fantastic.
I've got plenty of it. So when you get round to the next stage and you need to prepare your investor pitches or whatever, just you give me a ring. I'll be here.
Time is Money is your quiz. 3:00. ITV1 weekdays, and on ITVX, if you've missed any, it's a really gripping, exciting, fun quiz. I think you've done an amazing job. It's lovely to see you, Sara. I know how busy you are.
Really appreciate you. Can I show you visually what the name of our brand is going to be and see how you react to it, and then you can go. Because we haven't got time to talk about it, and this is fantastic. This is for your train journey home, okay? Here we go.
Wow. Okay.
Thank you so much for coming on. The Businessmen, sponsored by BT Business.
That was fantastic. I hope you guys got as much out of it as we did. It was amazing. Really enjoyed the chat with her.
Isn't she, Sara? She's just... It's very easy to talk to, really lovely and generous with her knowledge and warmth and energy. You can see why she's been so successful.
Absolutely. It's so much to learn from her as well for our journey. It's all we have time for this week. Remember to subscribe on YouTube and follow wherever you get your podcasts.
Please head to our Patreon. We'd love you to join the Patreon, patreon.com/thebusinessmen. There's more tips from Sara there. She's put loads of really brilliant business insights on the Patreon, as well as all of our guests that have been on the Businessmen.
Yeah, absolutely. And join us next week when we consult with our designer and you guys vote for the foreskin logo.
Come on.
This feels exciting, doesn't it?
It feels real.
Oh, no.
See you next week.